Some of you may not want to hear this. Some of you might want to just disconnect right now. Sensitive subject I'm about to talk about. If you really want to try to experience some growth, I recommend you keep it locked right here. One of the things that society has one of the very biggest problems with is we as humans have a tendency to seek others' approval of us. In our world today with so much social media and such a distracted society, people are on social media for a lot of good purposes, but there's a lot of damage being done because folks get on social media and they start to compare to others. They start to look at other people's lives and they determine their happiness based on what they see other people doing. And then in their mind, they try to instruct themselves that they must do this or that the same way so that they can, quote, be happy. It's actually the complete opposite. We tend to fall victim to other people's tendencies to control us, to be calculative, and to be manipulative of us to try to be and try to do what they want us to do. I personally have made that mistake in my life. I'm about to be 52 years old. For about 40 years of my life, I lived that way. I didn't live for me. I lived every moment of every day to seek acceptance and approval of other people and not to make myself happy. And do what for me made me happy, what I thought was the right thing. I see this over and over and over as a coach, as a leader, as a mentor. I've seen it so many times over so many years. Again, I was one of them. I didn't have the courage and the strength to determine that I was good enough for me, but rather I felt that I needed to be good enough for others. You see, for me, I had two very, very close people in my life, very, very close family members. I'll leave it at that. Unbelievably manipulative to the nth degree. And I fell into that cave, if you will. It was dark and basically no way to get out, or at least I thought there was no way to get out. You question every decision. You question the integrity of every thought. Is it okay for me to think like this? Would they accept it? Will they approve it? Is it okay? Will they be upset with me? Will they be angry with me? Will they still talk to me? Will they feel the same way about me? We go through life like this so much. It is a tendency of the human condition and of human behavior to fall victim to that. Whereas the real truth is, we are the architect and the engineer of our own life, even in allowing those things to happen. On some level, we have allowed that to happen. It is ultimately our responsibility and no one else's to break free from that and to realize that we have the drafting pen and the board in front of us, and it's up to us to seek out what we feel is the right thing. People will always have something to say. People may leave your life. People may limit you. It's okay. At the end of the day, you are responsible for your happiness, for your life, for your outcome, for your results, for your most inner circle to a degree. Not what other people think of you. And if somebody threatens to walk away or somebody leaves you altogether, that doesn't mean that you need to convert into what that they want so that they will speak to you or they will hang around with you or they will partner with you or they whatever. It's not up to them. You see, it's up to you. It's up to you in your mind, in your thoughts, when you're alone and no one else is around. It's about what you think of you, what you think of your life, what you want in your life, and what truly makes you happy. I've also noticed over decades of teaching and training that people have a very hard time defining what it is they want. A lot of people could say what they don't want, but there's a huge difference between the two. Yes, it is important to understand what you don't want, which helps you get to or arrive at kind of what you do want, and it keeps you strong to stay away from some of those things. But the problem is deciding what you want. Make that plan for you. Draw out your own map. Maybe it's with a significant other. Maybe it's whatever relationship you're in, married or not. Or maybe it's with a close friend that you trust and you don't have a significant other. That's okay. Either way. You know, as human beings, I've said it in other videos, we make 35,000 decisions on average a day. Adults do. One of the number one decisions that we need to make is that we're responsible for our own happiness. It's not our job. It's not our wife. It's not our husband. There's a common phrase that we hear so much: you make me feel so happy. I'm so happy when I'm with you. That can be misleading. It isn't the other person. Those flowers make me so happy. Without those flowers, I'm not happy. The happiness inside is determined long before those flowers ever come into play, long before the gestures or the niceties come into play. It's about how you feel about you. Are you accepting of yourself? Do you love yourself? At the beginning, at the end of every day, you must love you for you. You don't accept somebody else or hang with somebody else because of what they think of you. They may have similarities. They may be like-minded. You might get along, and that's great and highly encourageable for all of us. I try to do the same thing. But to the extent that you need to conform to be around those folks, not a good idea. You will chase for decades something that is a mirage. It is invisible. It is impossible to achieve happiness for somebody else. Those who act that way and do those things are generally unhappy people. And they feed off of doing that to others. Took me a long time to figure this out. A lot of study, a lot of introspective behavior or actions of myself to understand that. It's rooted in how we were raised. That's not a secret. But once you're past the teen years and you become an adult with wisdom, obviously comes experience, etc., it's no longer about pleasing other people or seeking acceptance of somebody else. It's not even of your boss. Let your actions speak for you, not to determine something else. Okay, there's certain things that we have to do to perform, to grow up the ladder of success and whatever that may be, to court another individual, but let it be real. Otherwise, it's inauthentic, and generally it has a very short lifespan. If I do this and I do that, I can get that person to go out with me. And then that's not really you. You did it for the other person. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to revert back to how you were prior to that. You're going to realize that it's no longer about pleasing that person. It's about what makes you happy. So if it's not authentic, if it's not how you feel, don't seek that out. It doesn't matter if it's a job, if it's a relationship on a platonic level, a friendship, if it's an intimate romantic relationship, if it's a partnership of some kind in business. Don't try to conform to somebody else. It will spell disaster. If that person does not share the same philosophy as you do, one of the most important and very hardest things to do, and this was for me, quite honestly, it is the ability to limit your interaction with people. It may be a close family member. It may be somebody you have no choice but to see. But you limit that. If you normally used to see them 6 times a year, do it once or twice. If it requires full-scale elimination of that person out or persons out of your life, it's important to understand that that is what you need to do for your happiness. And keeping that person or persons around for the sake of just keeping them around to avoid the pain you might experience by doing so, just stay clear of that. I want to be happy. It requires this. This over here, I kind of want this in my life, but it makes me very unhappy. It makes me very uncomfortable, excuse me. It just, I feel like I have to be something or someone else to stay over here. You don't want that. Limit it or push it all out. Eliminate it out of your entire life if necessary. That is one of the biggest things that I've learned with growth as a person, with identifying, seeking, and accomplishing true happiness of oneself many times is going to limit or eliminate some of the people around you. You wake up with you every day. You go to bed with you every day. You are with your conscience, your thoughts, and about 35,000 decisions a day. So you must be happy with those decisions. You must be happy with those actions. You must be able to lay your head down on the pillow at night and rise up out of the bed and go attack the day and do the things that you love. If someone, something, a job, a friend, a thought, whatever it may be, as a barrier to your own happiness, as a barrier to your own success, limit it or eliminate it altogether. Feel strong with that. It takes strength. It takes courage. Some will tell you that it's cowardly. It's not cowardly to do those things. It's courageous. That means you're standing up for you, because at the end of the day, no one will. Stay true to you. Stay true to your faith. Stay true to your principles, your values, not anyone else's. If you have a spouse, obviously you want to try to join those two together and work at it together, and that's okay. But ultimately, your spouse or any other person can't do it for you. It comes from within. That persons, a job, a career, something else can contribute to it, but ultimately, it's you. If you like this message, hit the subscribe button below. Log on to and subscribe to PB Mentors on pbmentors.com. You can set up time with me personally. Remember, you are literally one change, one moment, one decision away from happiness or more happiness. Make that choice for you today. Talk to you soon, folks. Thank you.